Fellas, we back in business. HBCU, we in the house.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Today
What it do?
is going to be interesting because these cats don't even know what we talking about. But I want to address something first off, y'all. Blackout Tuesday. I want to know, did you participate? Who participated? Or not
I said I participated.
You did? What black business you hit up?
Well, local man. He was actually from the crib. I needed some stuff worked around. They did a TV mount, some other stuff. You know.
That was up.
He was from Bama out here in Georgia, so we chopped it up and he came through. So yeah, I spent my dollar with my
That's
man
what's up.
from the crib. So
I didn't participate. I decided not to spend nothing on nothing. I was looking around. I'm like, man, the cats got me missing some sales, but it's all good. I'll wait. I'll wait. What about y'all, man? Y'all do anything?
Man, I'm blackout Tuesday, every day.
That's what I was about to say, bro. See,
I ain't spend no money.
That's my thing, but not necessarily not spending no money. You know, I wish that jam would just extend that jam because it's not a hard thing to do. I say that, but it's not a hard thing to do more than one day. You know, spend with black business, black restaurants, or whatever.
But see, it's my understanding of it, right? It's don't spend any money on this day, and if you do, you spend it on a black business, right?
Yeah, that's the point of it, right?
So yeah,
I never heard of it.
You never heard of it?
Never heard of it.
Rock, you been under.
Juneteenth, I supported with black business on Juneteenth. I had no idea about black.
But you know, they do this different times, man. They done this like one time for like Black Friday. Don't spend no money. Yeah, it kind of, it kind of moves around. It kind of moves around, but like this Blackout Tuesday joint is these are what you shaking your head for, man. What?
Black, you expect me not to spend no money on Black Friday? You tripping?
Yeah, man. I don't know how serious they made it. Like, I think this is probably one of the most organized times.
I got kids, bro. We going shopping on Black Friday.
See, got to get the deals while the deals is getting. Make me spend more money.
What's saying? Gotta get the deals while the deals is getting.
Yes, sir. Got to.
Man, but I'll be back for the cause tomorrow.
I smell you.
Nah, man, I thought you meant like support black businesses, which I bought this place down here called Soul Nutrition. I always try to get they have like this B12 drink, so they're supposed to have all these vitamins and stuff in there, man. So I give me one every morning to get my day going. That's about it.
And I will say, bro, I saw an article about the uptick in black businesses, revenue that they've had.
I was watching the news. It's a lot of that, bro. You know,
good.
This ain't
I'm gonna
really
go ahead
the
and
topic.
add. I know here locally. Actually, I'm sure it's nationwide. Uber Eats is doing where for here if you buy anything, it's black.
Yeah, man. A lot of people stepping up, man.
Doing it too.
Yeah,
a lot of people stepping up and doing some stuff like that. So it's dope. But J-Star, man, do you remember not just J-Star, shoot, might know him, Twilly. You remember Twilly, man? He a little stocky dude. J-Rock might know him too. Price might know him, but if y'all saw him, y'all would know him, man. Cat named Twilly, always kept a hat on, stocky, dark-skinned dude, bald head. He got a restaurant down here, man. I was gonna show him some love today, man, but in solidarity with these, man, I can't be eating all that grease right now, man. He got a lot of grease popping. But yeah, man, it's a cat that went to school with us. He got a restaurant.
Ain't
gas station.
That dude that used to wear that do-rag all the time? Is
I don't know Twilly had, man. Twilly ain't never had was without a cap, bro. Twilly.
You remember that dude that used to wear that do-rag every day, all day?
Yeah, man. I remember that dude with that bomb-ass do-rag, man. I don't know who that dude was. I can't remember that dude's name, man.
It wasn't Gentleman Pietro, was it?
Pietro he did keep one on, though. He kept one on that giant stay wrinkled right there. Like he ain't have enough head to go in that giant.
How you got do-rag on and I see your line in the front end?
Was that my job roommate?
Yeah.
That was job.
Yeah, that was job roommate, man.
Yeah.
No, that was Pietro was job roommate. Gentleman Pietro was that cat that used to walk around.
Oh, okay.
So anyway, man, we're gonna talk about COVID today with the whole surge and it's been going crazy, bro. So basically, the cases were going slam off the jump, when everything started picking up, but now it's 2 times that. Surge is like massive. They were talking about 10K cases in Texas alone. So,
Dr. Price, bro. Give it to Dr. Price.
Man, it's been the worst days as of late, as far as the case count goes. There's so many different caveats we can talk about this, man, but I just want to get y'all opinion on it, of how y'all handle it, and overall what y'all think about it right now. So,
all right, do you want the short version, or do you
I want the concise version. I want the version that's gonna be, get us to the point, but I don't want that long boy, John. I don't want no thesis, bro.
Man, we may need to leave Price on to the end.
No. Let him go first. Let him go first.
Well, so I'll say this. So, when you see or hear about cases, the way that the news is reporting information is crazy. Like it literally is crazy. Like so for instance, if I mention that in Texas there were a record-setting amount of cases, and I say that Texas had 3,000 cases, 10,000 cases in one day, then automatically you think, man, dang, bad out there in Texas. Mm-hmm. Well, they left a lot of information out, so it's not quite as bad as it may seem to be. So for instance, Texas is testing at an all-time high. So where you may have 10,000 new cases, you may also have 120,000 cases tests now performed. So that's a whole lot different than if you had 10,000 cases and you only had 20,000 tests done. It's called a percent positive. So the percent positive has remained roughly around the same, anywhere from 5% to 7 to 8%. In that ballpark, that's where the percent positive has been pretty much the whole time.
Yeah.
So it's just misleading when somebody says, or the news tries to promote that, whoa, is this new surge of cases? Well, yeah, but we got more tests now.
So, I mean, you sound like Trump, but that's a different story. But I want to encourage y'all to do a different format. So as a person make a point, we're gonna talk about it. So what I want to say to that is, before you kick in, J Star, and you got me, you right behind me. But bruh, while that may be true, while they may be testing, regardless, the news said it. That don't make everything the news say true. But the fact of the matter is, you got 10,000 cases. Period. Right. I don't care if you testing 1 million. You still got 10,000.
Can I speak on it? All right. So you have to break down why that's happening. Why are there more cases?
But it's not. It's not because of the testing, though. Go ahead.
Oh, okay. I'm gonna break it down. Last week alone, 25%. You can look at CDC.com or .gov for these stats. Mm-hmm. Last week alone, 25% of the tests, 25% of the positives were from pregnant women. Now, let's dive into it. Right. Let's dive into it. If 25% of the positives are from pregnant women, obviously, if there was 25% of all the positives were pregnant women, and these women were actually really sick, then we'd have a huge story about pregnant women being sick. But we don't. So what does that mean? That means that of that 25%, the majority of those women are asymptomatic. They don't have any cases. I mean, they don't have any symptoms. But why are they being tested? Well, the majority of people that go in now for procedures with hospitals are required to be tested. I personally went in for an upper endoscopy about 2 or 3 weeks ago. And one of the requirements was that I had to take a COVID test. Now, I was negative, but I had to take a COVID test. So anyone that goes into the hospital, you break your foot, they give you a COVID test.
Yeah.
So now you're being listed as, let's just say you're positive. You're going to be listed as positive with COVID. You're at the hospital with COVID, asymptomatic, not for COVID. So it's
Yeah.
it's a total difference that they don't separate of that 10,000 that you mentioned. Who is the person that's there with COVID, or who is the person that's there for COVID? It's two totally different things.
Yeah, so that's beside the point. But Jay, start jump in there. I get what you're
But
saying, but jump in there.
So either way it go, though, you
got
still
COVID.
got COVID.
You got COVID.
Right, but,
You still
but
got it.
no, but that's two totally different things, though. If
Not
you're not
really.
showing any symptoms, you're not.
But
Once again, what was the whole goal of us going into lockdown? The whole goal
But
was
I will add this.
Stop
I will
spread.
add this because they already said that you can be asymptomatic and still pass it on to someone.
Everybody understand
Absolutely.
that.
So just because you're asymptomatic doesn't necessarily mean like, okay, well, everything just goes away because
And we don't care if you're getting treated or not.
you still have it. Like
Absolutely.
you feel contagious. And you can pass it on to somebody who else
May
has.
not be asymptomatic when they get it.
Absolutely.
Correct.
Absolutely. That's 100%
So that's why we're
correct.
locking down. That's why we're locking down because we're trying to
No.
bring the numbers
Hey,
down.
Deezy,
for-
Deezy,
No,
Deezy,
no,
get in
no.
there.
No,
Deezy,
no,
get
no.
in there. Hold up. I can't let Price keep going. I gotta let everybody get in there. We're gonna come back. We're gonna come back. We gotta handle the first point.
Listen, so I just left COVID Central, and it's not cute. The hospital was not a pretty place, man.
Yeah.
Like I don't care what you in there for. I don't care what you feel like when you in there. You walk down the hall, everybody suited up.
Right.
You in your room, suited up.
Right.
So it's not like I do kind of understand what Price is saying, but at the same time though, maybe you were in there for like some kind of outpatient thing, but if you actually are in the hospital, it ain't just like you just in there for your procedure. No, because you go to a whole different side with COVID. The whole thing is different. Everything about it is different.
And J-Rob.
I feel you on Price what he's saying as far as
my boy holding his
hospital
breath.
for
Oh.
COVID and getting the reaction out of the media by saying we have this many cases and this and that. I mean, if to be a little bit more responsible as far as what he's trying to say, I could see it being, this is how many people have it in the United States. This is how many people are hospitalized based off of, underlying conditions with them having COVID. And this is, that way you break it out. But
Yeah.
you got it. Like,
Yeah.
regardless if you sick or not, you can pass it on to make someone else sick. And
Honestly,
that's the part that we're trying to stop.
No. So honestly,
Wait, no, Price. We gonna come back to you. Hold tight. J-Rob, get in there, dog.
No, killing me. No.
Hey, you can take my spot.
Get in there, J-Rob, man.
Man, I see both points. I ain't gonna lie. I'm kind of down the middle because at the end of the day, if you got it, you got it. But at the end, I do think the media kind of reports it like if you say 10,000, I just kind of Googled how many cities are in Texas, and it says it's more than 1,200. So when you take 10,000, you divide that by 1,200. That's like 8.3 cases per city. So I do feel like the media reports it like, oh, if you step outside, you're about to die from COVID. So I do think they report that, like that shock, that, thing now. I do think it's real. I do think it's a real thing, but, I do the basics as far as what they say, as far as wearing my mask and all that. But, it's to the point now where they sending people home. I got a friend working in the hospital, and they're sending people home from the hospital with COVID. So it's like, I
got
see.
somebody for that. Go ahead, Price, bro. I'm gonna let you done bit that
Well,
tongue.
Price. Before you hop in there, because I'm gonna give you the floor.
All right.
Give me just a second.
Not too long of the flow, but I keep it.
So this is my only thing. I think that and I think this is where he's going with this, but if you say 99% of the people are out of 500 people, I don't know, got COVID. And only, don't get me wrong, even one death is bad, and 2 people died out of 5,000. And then you say, 4,900 people got COVID and only 2 people died. Well, is that really that alarming? You know what I mean? I'm not saying the death. I'm not trying to diminish the death, but is it really that alarming?
I got one more.
You know what I'm saying?
One more.
Because when it comes to other things like the flu or influenza or whatever,
Don't
you have
compare.
more
Let's
people
not bring those in there. They don't compare.
I'm comparing ratio of people
don't
who
compare,
contract
bro.
the virus to people who die.
It don't compare.
So you have to compare.
It doesn't
and if
compare.
that
Though.
many-
The number,
it
the
sounds-
number right now, the number pales in comparison is the problem. We're not talking about. You're
No, I
talking
don't.
about. Oh yeah.
No,
Oh
it don't.
yeah.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Yeah.
It didn't at first.
No,
You're talking
But it
about
has
4
now.
months. You 4 months, bro. 4
I'm-
months. How many times in a year have you seen
Oh.
130,000 people die from the flu in a year?
Let me jump in. Can I jump
And
in?
that's not
That's
in the United
worldwide
States.
numbers.
Yeah,
That's
that's
worldwide
worldwide.
numbers in the flu season. 130,000 people in the flu season. That's
Jump
world.
in that price.
All right. I'm gonna ask y'all a question.
Mhm.
How many deaths do y'all think have happened from kids from the age of 15 and under from COVID-19?
That's irrelevant to me.
I'm just asking a question.
I
Hold on,
don't
I'm asking a
know.
question.
I don't know.
There was 2 here in Atlanta that stayed down the street, and that's the reason why
Okay.
we closed our school district down. It was 11 and an 8-year-old boy.
Right. Okay.
They died.
It's happening.
Outrageous.
Right.
Absolutely.
So, hold on. So I'm gonna give you the answer. In the United States of America, the entire country, there has been 29 deaths. You can go to cdc.gov to look at this. 29 deaths from the age of 15 and under.
That doesn't
Period.
hurt me at all.
That's it. Now, hold on. Now, I'm not trying to diminish those deaths because any death of a child or anyone for that matter
Of
is
course.
terrible.
We
We
understand.
don't want it, right? But when you talk about developing policies around whether kids go to school, you know, whether schools should remain closed, we are closed. We have schools that are closed when it's not even affecting kids. How does that make sense at all?
It makes a very, very large amount of sense because
It makes sense to me.
let me tell you why it makes sense.
Okay.
There's a bunch of intricacies to this virus that we do not understand as the smartest nation in the world, so to speak. All of those issues and intricacies that we don't understand are the main reasons why we shut down. Okay. Besides the fact that this alarming number of people that are dying, more than the Vietnam War, you send those kids to school. First of all, them kids ain't in college dorms. They go back home. Deezy got a kid. Deezy just told you he just left from the hospital. So let's just say Deezy left from the hospital and he had COVID and he went to pick up my baby girl and she contracted it from somebody else. Then Deezy's at risk. So the contact tracing and all that stuff now they're saying is absolutely obsolete because there's too many cases happening.
Oh,
So another thing that I get, I don't disagree with what you're saying, but here's the issue, the fundamental issue I see with what you're saying. The message that spread that message that it isn't that serious is
That's not the message.
well, not okay. I won't say that's the message, but that's what it sounds like you're getting at. Seems like you're saying that they're sending out a lot of, scare tactics, so to speak. But I think those scare tactics are very, very important because we have to shock these people into understanding that this is very serious. Now, whether there's a proper way to do it or not, but let me say this one thing. Some things are very, very real. Those 130,000, I'm not saying this for no, all moment, because we all know, like you said, any death is bad. Those 130,000 plus families that have lost somebody due to this virus are suffering every day.
Right.
Just
Absolutely.
because it's not touching us or those 15-year-old kids, it's hard for us to empathize in that way. We can sympathize all day long, but another thing that's very, 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 very real is what Deezy said. Those hospital systems that are getting bammed every single day. These nurses wear 24/7 had to wear face masks. I know somebody in the field. They have to run that stuff all day long, and it's a hell of a shift. That's real. You know what I'm saying? Regardless, go ahead, Deezy.
Another thing, when I was in there, they literally were down to one bed in ICU.
Oh, they slamming Florida right now. Florida
You know what I'm
running
saying?
out of beds.
Exactly. I mean, and this is at a private
No, it's not.
hospital.
No, it's not. Florida is not out of bed.
I said they
may
are
have
running out of
individual-
beds.
You may have individual hospitals that have higher ICU numbers, but for the large part, because I've looked at the data every day in regards to Dallas, Houston, San Antonio, those areas have ICU capacity.
They didn't say Texas. They said Florida is getting close.
All right, Florida. You just mentioned Florida. When it comes to Florida, you was talking about colleges. Florida, from the age of 24 and younger, has had 8 deaths. 8. You're talking about
the youth, though.
You're talking about schools being closed for 8 deaths. That doesn't make any sense.
What about the teachers, though? The teachers ain't 24.
And here's the other part they keep on saying, as far as, especially since you're saying as far as the younger kids.
Yeah, why we keep talking about young kids anyway?
The kids are probably
I'm 30.
They're the easiest
You ain't
carrier
30.
of this virus. They carry the virus.
Ease.
And then they can affect everybody else because they can be asymptomatic. It doesn't
Asymptomatic carriers.
it affects everyone else. So they are the biggest carrier because they're checked because again, you're saying, okay, they're asymptomatic, they're young, they're not dying.
I
They
tell you
go
what.
out and they spread.
Right,
That's the carrier.
I got an answer for that.
So Price, what
Hold
should
on,
we
real
do?
quick, let me answer that. Let me answer that
Yeah.
real quick. The previous contact tracing previously, before the numbers got crazy, the contact tracing that was done showed that the spread was not from younger kids, 24 and under, to adults. It was from adults to younger kids. That's how the spread was happening. So if kids are going to school around kids, they're not spreading kid to kid via the contact tracing, and they're not spreading to adults. What are we talking about when it comes to policies that we're doing in regards to schools, opening back up, opening things up smartly? 54% of all deaths have been in nursing homes, period. We're talking about older people. We have to have policies that protect them, that 54%, and then we do other things for the rest. That's how that should work.
When everything popped off, what did they close first? They closed the schools. That's probably why you don't see the cases that you see in there.
No. They didn't close the schools.
As soon as the first case hit Atlanta metro region, all 5 counties closed their schools down the next day.
There were college kids still going to school in early May.
We're not just talking about college, though.
They closed them, Johnson. I know of. I ain't seen nobody in them schools. Gerard, what you got your thinking hat on for, bro? What you thinking, though?
I'm just enjoying the show, man. I need some popcorn, man.
Need that popcorn.
Oh man. Like I said, man. I mean, I see both views. I think Price. I see where I feel like I see where he's going. He's digging. I feel like I don't want to put words in his mouth, but I think he kind of thinks it's being like over reported or maybe.
Absolutely.
So let me ask you, J Rock. So let me ask you. So if you see, you kind of feel like where you're going, and I know you say you kind of riding the fence. So if we take Price approach, what's the solution? So you're saying you want to start back opening schools smartly. How do you see that happening?
I mean, I feel like you gotta side on the side of, I guess, overly cautious, because if something do pop off, then you put all these people at risk. But then on the other side, these knuckleheads ain't going home anyway, so it's still, blowing up. So I mean, just like, okay, the kid's not passing it, but if the parents don't got sense enough to stay at home and all that, they can still bring it home to the kids. So I just feel like, man, you gotta, at the end of the day, I just feel like you cannot shut down, and maybe just the banker in me, you can't shut down the economy forever. At some point, me personally, I don't think COVID is going anywhere. I think it's gonna be a seasonal thing, just like the flu. So, I mean, I feel like at some point you do have to start back functioning. I do think, the approach to doing it slowly, is the smart thing. But I just think it's the reason that the numbers are just staggering and continually growing is because you're depending on people to act. Let's
put that in perspective. And and Jason, I'm gonna ask y'all a question about school. But you said the numbers are growing because of people. Let's not forget before I ask you the question that we did have like a small reopening that just took place, and we saw how that went. Like, bro, I've been through Alabama. Ain't nobody wearing a mask. Nobody, bro. Like, nobody. So all these numbers are jumping, and they ain't jumping because people, you know what I'm saying, was like, I think I'm gonna just go outside anyway. Nah, you got governors, everybody with an R beside their name but they act like they are complete idiots and mindless and totally do whatever Trump say because they in that Republican Party. So they was like, yeah, I think we should open up. I mean, we can't keep.
Well, it's that, and to me,
Like-
fundamentally, not to cut you out,
No, go ahead.
they're operating off money.
Oh yeah, absolutely. We know
I mean,
that. We know
So
that.
yeah, I mean, I'm not shocked, that they're choosing money over, well-being. You know what I'm saying?
Jay,
Can I say
are
something?
y'all?
Like I say, but as a
I was just asking Jay Star. Oh, like, how do y'all feel about sending? I know y'all ain't the only one with kids, but how y'all feel about sending, Scout and my baby Bay down there
Well,
to school? How you feel?
I'll say this: some people's money, to that point, J-Rock, is their well-being, and that's just the truth of it is, and people who are losing their jobs, and I know some people who have, and although they are being helped through the unemployment,
which
you
is
know, everybody can't file for unemployment, unfortunately. So it's a tough situation, man. It really is, because health is of the essence, but also the second hand of that is people supporting their family and feeding their family.
How you feel about Baylor going back to school though?
So with Bailey going back to school, man, I'm gonna be honest. I was ready for her to go back to school, bro. and the
Ready to take
reason,
that risk, man.
bro, I had to, bro. I mean, I can't get no work done with her, man. I just can't. She 4 years old, and I have her by myself because Brandy, is mainly on the phone all day, so she can't be in there. And then she understands direction, but she doesn't. It doesn't last long.
She's 4. So you nervous about COVID at all with her going back?
Bro, I am petrified. I'm not gonna lie. I question my decisions, man. But
What precautions you take?
God forbid something would happen. So like when she gets home, we give her a shower directly. They have precautions at the school, and different things like that. But ultimately, man, I like J-Rock said a little earlier, I don't think there's gonna be nothing we can do about it, man. I think it's here to stay.
I mean, y'all say that, bro, and trust me, I'm not in a hurry to jump on. I'm if I can avoid a vaccine, I will. But that's what they're supposed to be doing. So we can't say that they ain't gonna do nothing about it. I
I ain't saying they're gonna do nothing about it, but I'm not saying that vaccine gonna be here anytime soon or
well,
work.
they say the vaccine might come at the end of the year.
That's just talking. Throughout history, we have very few vaccines that have actually worked.
That's what they say. I ain't saying that. Look, I done told you I don't want to take it. Deezy, what you think about Mabel going back to school, bro?
She ain't going.
She ain't going. No daycare for my baby.
I'm saying we already signed Lila up for virtual learning. We're gonna have to take her up there for soccer every day, which is fine, whatever it is. And Mabel ain't going either.
Yeah.
What's she gonna do?
What's she gonna do? She gonna learn at the house.
No. Who's teaching?
Makila.
I thought she had to go back to work.
No, so that's what I'm saying. They not opening. Everything's voluntary. So you're gonna have teachers. So I'm the one person here that's got the insight on this. At least in North Texas, what they doing is everything is voluntary. So Makila probably have to go to school maybe 2 days a week.
Yeah.
So what you gonna do with Mabel while she at school?
We'll figure something out.
So
Man, I'm gonna be honest. I think that junk sounds beautiful, but it depends on your situation. If you're able, like if I was able to be off work and not have to work, then my daughter probably wouldn't be going either. But if your parents, your mom is in healthcare, and your dad is in retail, what you gonna do?
I understand, bro.
No, I mean, I agree with that.
Don't get it twisted. I understand that the economy can't stop forever. That's not what I'm saying.
Because I know 4 nurses off the top, and all their kids go to school.
Yeah, I understand. I get it. I understand.
That's because
stop forever.
The reason that they're going to school is because the data suggests that they're much more likely to get COVID at home than they are at school.
But you're gonna have to send me that data after the call.
I absolutely will.
Because
one more quick point.
But let me say something about that data. Who the hell got that data? Because ain't nobody been back in school yet since the COVID. So How somebody make is this projection?
Yeah,
How you gonna say, yeah, he more likely get COVID at home than he would at school? Fam.
Right, because it's through contact tracing. Through contact tracing, they're able to tell how the virus is spread.
Well, let me tell you a secret about contact tracing.
Not kid to kid, and that's how they're able to.
Nobody officially got contact tracing right in the first place. So I need to check these sources because contact tracing has been a mess
CDC.
since the jump.
CDC.gov.
CDC be lying. You need to stay off of there.
No,
Listen, there's
Look,
no
you
way
had
to
a
do
governor
contact
in
tracing
you-
when we had the whole country shut down.
You had a governor in Atlanta that stayed right down the street from the CDC and said he ain't know nothing about it. What I'm listening to them for? Like, no.
Man, I don't know, bro. Now you trying to say, now you kind of sound like Trump, bro. You're like,
You started like Trump at the beginning.
that's fake news, CDC.
right.
Bruh. So
All right, let me tell you. Hey, hold on.
that was not from me though. That
So I wanted to say this real quick. I wanted to say this. So when y'all were saying that if it's 10,000 cases, they still have it. You got it. That's not true.
no. We saying if you got it, as in not saying it's gonna last forever.
That's not true. If you got it, in the regards to cases being reported, it don't mean you got it. And I'm gonna tell you why.
Oh yeah, we
In the
know
state,
that.
hold on a second. In the state of Texas, in other states as well, especially the ones that you see these high numbers in, what they've done now is they have what's called presumed cases. So the state of Texas has, for every one person that contracts the COVID virus, they can have 17 different people listed as presumed cases, right?
And they count that in the numbers, bro.
And they add that into the numbers.
Come on.
So let me tell you why they
Well,
do
why
that.
would they say? Let me ask you a question. Why would they say? So they got these numbers, right? So you saying that, but then you got so many other people saying that the numbers, and these are doctors, that the numbers that are being posted and told to everybody is much lower than the actual caseload. So now you saying it's lower? So we don't got.
Absolutely.
Oh wow.
Absolutely. So let me tell you why. I'm telling you why. I'm telling you
Okay.
why. You have presumed cases listed. And in the state of Texas, they just raised it. I think it used to be like for every one person, it could be 7 or 8 presumed cases. But it was just raised. If you look it up, it was just raised 17. 17 different presumed cases can be associated with one person. Now, let me tell you why they do that. I'm going to tell you why they do that. So let's say I got COVID-19. And they didn't want, and my wife decided she don't want to get tested. Well, what they would do is they would put my wife as a presumed case. They would put my kid as a presumed case and my second son as a presumed case. So you got 4 people now that are listed as presumed cases.
And Johns
Even though
Hopkins.
they may not have it.
And John Hopkins is putting them numbers out. With
Absolutely.
them cases.
Absolutely. Now, some of those sites don't even show the
Well,
presumed
why do they
cases.
say confirmed cases?
They
don't say
They have-
they don't say
Yes,
presumed.
they
They
do.
say confirmed.
Yes, they have confirmed and they have presumed.
Well,
You
no,
can
I
look
said
it up.
John Hopkins. It has confirmed cases.
Right,
At
absolutely.
nearly 3 million.
Absolutely. If you look at the data, you can see confirmed cases, and they'll have it broken down to where you can see presumed cases.
Within the confirmed.
No, it's not within the confirmed. You
Okay,
got
well, we talking about a
confirmed,
totally different thing.
you got presumed.
Because I'm saying the confirmed case is saying 3 million. That's what I'm saying. I ain't talking about presumed, Johns.
All right,
Yeah,
but we talk about right now with Texas. Texas,
Yeah.
that's what was mentioned. Texas in the 10,000 cases.
I got you.
Texas
So you
just
saying
started
those
adding that, where
10,000 is
cases are
presumed?
added.
They said
and-
confirmed cases in Texas was 10,000 a day. I don't look.
Okay.
I
I
don't
didn't
look.
hear confirmed. I heard
So the news is gonna call it confirmed because they're mixing all those together. Presumed
Do you-
and
do you
confirmed
watch
cases.
Fox News?
It's all listed the same.
Do you
What?
watch Fox News?
I don't watch any news.
Oh, okay.
Absolutely no.
I was
Absolutely
just making
no.
sure,
Me
man.
either, brother.
I was just making sure.
Absolutely zero.
So
So I have a doctor that I follow. A doctor that I follow who gives daily posts every day in a pay site that I'm actually with.
yeah.
And he has a daily post every day where he breaks down the numbers, puts numbers on there, puts the link so that you can follow it yourself if you don't believe what he's saying. But he puts the information on there every day.
Yeah.
I'm telling you, if news outlets actually work like this doctor is, he's a cardiologist in the state of Mississippi.
Mhm.
If his name is Michael Cunningham, you'd like to look him up. But if news outlets work like this, where they dug deep and actually put real facts, people wouldn't be losing out of their mind over COVID.
Yeah,
now, you would have concern, but you wouldn't just be losing your mind over it.
Well, I honestly don't think people are losing their mind over it.
I
The
do.
reason why I say that is
Architects
because
of
I mean it's a few people, but
My wife is.
so here's the facts, right? To me, my facts. Whether you're losing your mind over it or not, there's a reality here. COVID is here. So are you
It's
gonna wear
here.
a mask or not? Are you gonna wear a mask or not? Me personally, I'm gonna wear a mask. Because the fact of the matter is I got a father that's diabetic. I had a mother that had thyroid issues. These are things, like I said, regardless whether the numbers are high, whether them giants are low, I don't care what them giants is. Them giants is killing people. More people than we've ever seen before. And it ain't even it's just not the middle of the year. So regardless, I can tell your story to anybody else, but if I go talk to them nurses and them doctors and all them folks up in that hospital that these are just left out of, fam, they ain't gonna be want to hear that junk. Cause they be like, look, whether it's real to you or not, it's real to me because I got 16-hour shifts showing you.
Whether it's real or not, deaths have been trending down since June. Period.
Bro, you need
cases rising or not, the deaths are still going down.
You need to turn on the news, though.
The lethality of this virus is decreasing based off of the deaths.
You still need to turn on the news because also the reason why I say you need to turn on the news because also there are, whether you die, we talking about mortality here. All right, sure. Who cares whether not, that's the wrong way to put it. It doesn't matter if death is the end goal, is the end game of it. People are being affected long term from this jam. Period.
Right.
Losing
people are
lung
affected
capacity.
From pneumonia. People are affected from
we
the
understand
flu.
that, but 130K people ain't died in 4 months from pneumonia or the flu.
Yeah, but you can't make a policy. You don't make policy based off of. You don't make policy based off of
price.
You base it off of the mortality.
Price. I understand what you're saying, but I don't understand how a man can look at 130,000 people dead in 4 months and try to justify the fact that it's not as bad as we think it is. I just don't see that. Go ahead.
I'm gonna tell you this. I'm gonna say this is the way I've always looked at it too. And, I'm like you. I go searching for the truth. I don't watch the news. I read my news. Like I go find it that way. And
the same news though. Just FYI to all
about this whole thing.
Dr. Price talking about. He the same thing. Doctors, news. It don't matter if the Lord ain't came down and told you.
Bro,
it's all the same.
George Floyd was listed as a COVID death? George Floyd was listed as a COVID.
I wonder why. That ain't hard to figure out.
He had COVID. He died with COVID. He didn't die from COVID. So I wonder how many people, that 130,000, died with COVID, not from COVID.
It don't matter. It don't matter.
If we do that for the flu, the numbers would be stupid. If we had a ticker on CNN showing every single person that got the flu, every case of the flu, we'd be losing our mind.
James, go ahead, bro.
So many points, man. But this is what I was trying to say. This is good. The way I look at it, like I said, the way I started kind of in my mind internalizing to say, okay, this may be a little serious. And again, it's always, you prepare for the worst and hope for the best. But the one thing I looked at when I started kind of paying attention is China. China's whole livelihood of beings is their economy and shipping goods and making goods. If they when I heard that they shut down that city of 11 million people and locked them down and wouldn't let them go, and then just how they subsequently started doing that to other cities in China. Now I've been to China. I've seen these factories and how things are set up and everything like that. Like when I saw that, and you already know as far as just how China, in a sense, treats their people, in a sense that they're almost expendable. For them to lock that down and to stop all that production and all that money, I mean, there had to be some type of true underlying in that for them to take that type of precedence.
Yeah.
That's my thing. That's why I took that and I was like, okay, well,
Deezy.
With a grain of salt, like somebody taking it serious. And I think I should too. And that's how I looked at it since then.
Yeah. Deezy, jump in there, man.
Yeah. My kids ain't going back to school. If they not, I mean,
I feel you.
We doing good with virtual learning. We've been doing it since March.
I feel you. I'm gonna talk about that a little bit. Deezy, you got something you wanted to say?
I mean,
hey, James, have your kids been out the house since March?
As far as public places,
Yeah.
I can probably count on both hands how many different times. And half that time was me transporting my kids from here to go out to Texas so they could stay with their grandparents where they got land and they don't have to, again, be around folks and people can bring stuff to them. So yeah, my kids, outside of maybe in April one time, I took them out to get ice cream. They stayed in the car while I went to go get ice cream because it was a nice day. Yeah, I can probably count on both hands how many times they've been out in the public.
And how old are your kids?
Store or anything like that.
How old are your kids?
7 here in the next 2 weeks and 4.
Mm.
So yeah, they not going. And I mean, yeah, I mean, like I said, I'd rather play it safe. Again, you know, whether they get it and they asymptomatic and they, I mean, I was just talking to a girl who just had a test where she had it asymptomatic. Nothing was wrong with her. But yet she quarantined herself because, again, just like the same thing what Vito was saying, her dad is diabetic. Her mom is a smoker and already had issues with her lungs and different things like that. So, I mean, she's fine, but I mean, why take that risk? And again, I go back to even the, you know, like the economy thing, and I understand it because, you know, I can sit in my position and be like, why y'all just don't stay at home? Because I can work from home. I have that, you know, that ability. But I mean, I feel it on the other hand, as far as, you know, I think that just goes back to even having a better conversation as far as how do we set everything up to be able to have people go back to work? Because when you look at South Korea, when you look at Italy, that was like the epicenter for one point. They're putting their people back to work. They got things in place to have their people safe.
Yeah.
They have no leadership here. And that should be the actual happen. Not trying to down talk and saying this ain't serious, only these people got it.
Yeah.
You know, 40,000 people in a year get the flu, like you just said. That's the United States. We're at what, 136,000. We're 1/3 of the deaths of the whole world. I mean, look, 500 deaths, 500,000 deaths in the world, and we're at 140, 130.
Well, you know, one thing that, you know, I'm not the person that's gonna look at media and be like, look, they don't lie. Because first of all, I know for a fact they do. You know what I'm saying? Now, the purpose of lying about this in a capitalistic society, I don't understand. You can't look at one side of things and then try to flip it and be like, well, they'll lie about that because of it. First of all, we always talk about how money hungry these people are. So you're gonna lie about it so people can close up and political view and all this bullshit. You know,
I don't think it's about lying.
That's one part about it. Well, trying to scare tactics. Why you want to scare people in the house? And it's a consumer base. This is a straight up capitalistic society. Ratings ain't ratings. Bro, come on, man. Who cares about ratings?
Ad revenue, that ain't making nothing.
Anyway,
ad revenue. That's what we're talking about.
Come on, man. Right. Anyway, forget ratings. So here's another. I want to get J-Rock. I want to get J-Rock opinion on this. On this common sense approach. We talking about, because like he said, he split down the middle, so I want to get his opinion first, but we talking about 130K people dead. I want to keep saying that because that's, you know, respect those people and those families, hope they, you know, feel better about it. Absolutely. But let's talk about that number in the amount of time. Also, and we keep talking about flu, we keep talking about pneumonia, we keep talking about these little trivial things. And I say trivial for the simple fact that we know about them. We are aware of them. We have had them time and time again. And we talk about how bad they are, how many people die from them. But let's bring it back down to a common sense level and say, okay, this is true. But this is during normal operation, bro. This is during when everybody walking around licking the doggone gas thing. They pump gas, get in the car, eat a hamburger. We talking about going to the store, you see little girls licking on the buggy in Walmart. You know what I'm saying? Nasty stuff like that. That's regular, everyday, nasty ass people doing regular, everyday things. And you have those numbers that pale in comparison to the numbers now. You lock everybody in the house right now. Everybody locked up. Ain't nobody doing nothing. Money ain't moving. Still 130K people dead. J-Rock, talk to me about that. How do you compare the two?
The two meaning
how can you even bring up the flu when all those numbers that happen from the flu die from everyday operation when people walking around without a care in the world. But then you lock everybody up for months at a time during COVID and kill operation. You go to a bank and ain't nobody there, and you still got 3-4 times the numbers of deaths, and God knows how many cases. How can you compare the two when that's the case?
I mean, I think it is. You know, my opinion, of course, it is a standalone issue. I don't think you can compare it to just because how the little that I know of how they affect, you know, the body differently. And then the thing with the flu is or at least they give you one. We think we got a vaccine and things like that for it. I think the thing with COVID, I think it spreads so rapidly because nobody, instead of them saying we don't know what's going on, COVID changes like every day. Oh, you can't do that. Oh, it travels 2 feet. Oh, now it travels 6.
Every day.
Oh, now it can stick on cardboard for 4 days. So I think like my thing is like shut up until you know something. Like to me, that's what I meant by the over-reporting. Now again with the deaths, like I said, death is serious. But from like a lot of what I saw, which I didn't dig as much as, you know, I'm sure my boy Price, because he got facts over there on his paper and stuff. But
I got facts from
Price gonna pull that notebook out. But
we're talking about a source,
think,
like them giants ain't the same.
Right. I think when you look at the deaths, I think a lot of them are, you know, I think a lot of them do come from, you know, people with underlying conditions. So I mean, yeah, they caught COVID and died, but I mean, if they were say, I don't know, I'm not a doctor, I'm not a healthcare professional, but if you know, if you had breathing issues, heart issues, what's to say if you caught pneumonia, it wouldn't have took you out.
You get what I'm saying though. You get what I'm saying though. You lock everybody up, and you still got that many numbers though. You know what I'm saying? Like that's what I feel like people kind of miss. You know, these are like, what you think, bro?
So I was talking to my nurse today. So I was talking to her Sunday, and she was telling me that they haven't had more than 10 people that they have found that were infected with the flu or pneumonia since COVID started. And the test is the exact same. They run the test. So nobody's getting the flu and stuff anymore. People are getting COVID.
That's weird.
So, I mean, you can't really say, and you can't say that the one is not the same or that they are the same anyway. If you can treat something, then it can't be the same as something else that you can't treat.
That you can't treat, right?
I can't see how you gonna tell me that and as far as underlying issues go, I didn't know I had an underlying issue until a week ago.
Yeah. So right, I feel the same way. That's how I feel.
That's the other thing.
You know what I'm saying? I mean, as far as I knew, I was perfectly healthy until last Thursday morning.
No correction, right. we can't treat COVID.
Remdesivir, right?
Remdesivir.
You can do with the remdesivir, man.
Hydroxychloroquine.
Bro, that's Trump, bro. Hydroxychloroquine.
No, treatments.
No, sir, they are not using that as treatment in the hospital, bro. Anymore. They're not using that as treatment in the hospital. I just left the COVID Florida ICU. They are not using that as treatment in the hospital, bro.
100% using hydroxychloroquine as treatment.
I just left the hospital, Price.
I will go to my bank.
They just
and we can bet every dollar I have that
I'm just telling you what they're saying.
Used.
Well, I'm not saying it's not still being used, but it's not approved anymore. I'll say that. It's not approved.
That's not what they're going to.
That's a fair statement.
It's not approved anymore. J-Star, get in there, brother.
Man. I don't know, bro. I'm hearing y'all, but some of that junk don't add up to me. I don't believe it.
Well, just give me your opinion on what I said, like the from a standpoint, because I mean did I say something wrong? Did that not make sense? You know what I'm saying? We want to talk about the flu when you talk about those numbers, and it's from a entire calendar year, but you talking about COVID in a 4 to 5 month span,
right?
The numbers are astronomically higher with people locked up in the house. So
I will say it's the real deal. It's the real deal. The people locked up in the house, I don't know, man, because people been out.
Jay, you weren't locked up in the house? How you was out and wasn't nothing even open? They just opened everything.
Oh, I mean, they just opened up everything, but bro, people, you're talking during the time where we were on lockdown?
When it was lockdown, yes.
Yeah, the cases, The
They had a
cases
COVID
did,
parade over here.
Bro, that's
the
what-
cases did go down when we were locked down, I felt, but
They did.
right when BLM started and the holiday, that jumps went right back up 2 weeks later.
Well, yeah, that's
So-
what I'm saying. So that's what I'm saying. So you talking about, you know, like I just hate to hear people compare it to something like the flu, and like Price said, we'll be going crazy if they put out the flu numbers. No, not really. People die every day.
Yes,
People
we
die
do.
every day.
That's
We
right.
know
People do die every day.
people die every day.
Let
So
me
I mean,
explain.
we know about the flu. Go ahead.
So let me explain. Let me explain why I think I'm gonna answer your question. So why do we have that many numbers? Okay, so
I ain't talking about the
we don't-
cases. I'm talking about dead.
right, dead. Okay. So we don't mention a person that died from complications of the flu as a flu death. Meaning, if I come in there with pneumonia, they're gonna list it as pneumonia. If I come in there and I die of heart attack, they're gonna list it as a heart attack.
Remember this though.
Hold on a second. So no matter what my cause of death is, chances are they're not gonna list it as the flu every time, right? Okay, so let me add to the next point. Hospitals aren't incentivized to label a death as influenza, as they are with COVID. So you aren't with COVID, they're incentivized to list you as a COVID patient being hospitalized with COVID. They get more money if you're listed as a COVID patient from the CARES Act that just passed, where we got our stimulus checks as part of it. The labelization of
That's
COVID patients.
a whole nother thing.
So that's, yeah, but you talking about
what
cases,
you're
you're
saying.
talking about.
Oh yeah, I know what
people
you're saying.
are
I, ain't talking,
incentivized
I was
to
just talking about
have
that's a,
death. That's the reason why you see a case like a George Floyd where that person is murdered, but then listed as a COVID death. Why is it
man, where did
listed
that
as
come
COVID
out
death?
at? Where did that come out at?
Because there's an incentive to do so. Hospitals are getting paid to do so. So that's why you see the numbers that are out
So
through the
let me ask
roof,
you
as you
this.
say,
So
in the 4 to 5 month period.
his death certificate lists COVID
That's
death.
what I'm saying. Where did you hear
Yeah.
that?
Is homicide
Absolutely.
or
Absolutely. His
death
cause of
by
death
but the case still
strangulation
going.
or
I don't think that-
asphyxiation. It doesn't. He may be counted as a COVID case.
He was counted as a COVID death. Right. He was counted as a COVID death. So we're
Man,
talking
who
about
Not a
told you
COVID
that?
death, a COVID case,
Right.
maybe. A
So
COVID
if we
case,
talk
but
about
not a
the
COVID
100
You
death.
need your
Wait a
sources,
second,
dog.
hold on. We're talking about the 130,000.
Yeah.
If he's listed as a COVID death, then
He in
yes,
there.
he's in that 130,000.
But how's he getting called as a COVID death? He's a COVID case because they already had the
He was a COVID case
Right.
and a
death by
COVID death.
asphyxiation
Price done jumped
before they
ahead.
even came
Look,
out and said he had COVID.
look, Price done jumped ahead of the whole trial. He done jumped ahead of the whole trial, bro. He know if it's listed as a COVID death right now, when they go to trial, he be like, well, he didn't die from asphyxiation. He didn't die from the neonatal.
Right.
He died
Simply
from
pull up
COVID. It's right here on his
Simply
death certificate.
pull up Google right now, if you would like. Pull up Google and type in, was George Floyd listed as a COVID death?
Bro, that,
And so
that's
they
what
so
I'm
let me
saying to me.
ask you this. When I Google this,
If we're talking about 100,
when I Google this, will they show me
Hold on a
his
second.
death certificate showing COVID?
Hold on a
Please.
second. The reason that I brought up George Floyd was to show you that if people are listing people that died obviously from something else, and we know that they died from something else, but they still listing it as a COVID death, there's a reason why the number's crazy, because they just
But
randomly
let me ask
putting
you this. Let me
regular
ask you this.
people.
Okay, so
It's a COVID death.
when
Right, right.
an HIV/AIDS patient has AIDS and they
Right.
die of pneumonia, because a lot of them do die of pneumonia, what do they get listed as? Do they get listed as they die by pneumonia, or do they listed because they had HIV/AIDS?
Who knows?
Well,
Who
Price,
knows?
Price.
They're not incentivized. Hold on a second.
That
Hold on a
died
second.
from that. So
They
that's
are
how I
not
know.
incentivized to list them as an AIDS patient. They are not. So they may list them as pneumonia, or they may list them as AIDS. I don't know.
Maybe
But they are
these walk off.
incentivized to list people as COVID deaths.
So let me ask you this. So again, I can understand the CARES Act giving you extra money to treat somebody who actually has a COVID case. Why are they
Not a COVID case, not just a case.
COVID death?
deaths.
You're dead. There's no more money to be
Right, what-
spent on you.
What they
Dead.
do? What they
So
give
why
up?
would there be incentivized? I mean, if you're trying to treat
I
somebody,
guess CNN paying them
extra
off
money
that
for
rating money.
the staff to treat that person, the ventilator to get that person well, the salary that you're paying. But once that person is dead, where's the incentivization to pay them more money to be dead?
Yeah, I don't know.
I mean,
I
that's
don't-
what I'm saying. I mean, I can
I'll say
understand the
this.
case part.
I don't know,
Because
but I
again,
don't trust.
with the casing, I know everything about with the medical billing when you build your insurance and different things like that. They do all the coding and everything like that. So I'm totally on the same page as you as far
as would insurance factor in with
payments.
Would insurance not
cases.
factor in with deaths, cause of death?
That's a different type of insurance.
Would insurance not factor in with cause of death?
You ain't at the hospital talking about your death insurance, and they gonna discuss your funeral home and casket and all that stuff at the hospital. That's when you leave. So, but anyway, so you telling me to Google something? I just want to talk about that for a second, just 1 second. You telling me to Google something, bro? You can Google one thing and get a result. I can Google one thing and get a totally different result. We can't go on that. We want to go on.
You're right.
You know what I'm saying? We just gonna go on.
But I brought a whole list of stuff. And mention CDC that you can actually go look at this stuff. Not that last point, but you're right.
Yeah. If what you said is 100% true, I totally understand what you're saying. But again, rooted in fact here, and these are things that we see with our own eyes because each of us probably know somebody in the medical field or something like that. You can't fake the flooding of people in these emergency rooms and the issues that they have, and whether they listed as whatever when they test them for COVID. And another thing about the test, we already know that the test talking about 75% accurate. That, I mean, you leaving a whole 25 out there. That could be negative or positive.
Man, there's so much stuff with the test.
I know.
That's not being reported. That's the problem that
they did report that though. They did report that. So I encourage you. So I encourage you, bro. I encourage you for one day because what they saying now, CNN, they saying CNN for the culture, man. That's what they saying. They were saying you just need to watch it because my thing is, if you read it, there's no difference than you watching it because you getting it from the same stuff.
All CNN is doing is driving ratings. It's the same reason that they talk about Trump 24/7. It's to drive ratings.
But
ratings is what makes CNN
everybody talking about the same thing. Everybody talking about the same thing because you got a whole different group of people watch Fox.
Because they want people watching.
I understood, bro. But if we sit here and we say that nothing that the news say is rooted in any type of truth,
that ain't what I said.
My goodness.
That's not what I said.
That's horrible.
When was the last time you saw CNN put the recovery rate on?
Right. So you said that to me in text. You said that to me in text, but I want to say something to you real quick. Bruh, do you realize what you're saying? Why in the world, bro, you learned this in grade school. Why in the world do they got to put the recovery rate? If they got the number of cases up there and the number of deaths, obviously the people didn't die. Subtract. Who's sitting there thinking like, oh man, I wonder what happened to the other millions of people. People know they didn't die.
No. So that's not how that goes. That's not how that goes. So people are simplistic when it comes to looking at the news. Nobody's sitting there thinking, oh, let me add this up. Oh, they didn't die. So they obviously.
Look, well, we can't reach them people either way.
People ain't looking at that. They looking at the glass.
I kind of feel on that point. I mean, it is to say 150,000 deaths versus, $2.5 million survival. Right? I do kind of.
If you said, oh man, 50 people died from the coronavirus in Texas, and then you say, people may be like, oh, that's not that bad. But then if you say 200,000 people contracted the coronavirus, then
well, bro, I'm gonna tell you this. Y'all look at stuff totally different than I do. Because if I look at numbers and those people ain't dead, I'm glad they not dead. So you basically looking at news through a pessimistic eye. I don't understand why anybody would look at it. So it's obviously, like my boy Josh said, it depends on the person.
But that number is a running number. Hold on a second, Vito. What's even worse is that number is a running number. They don't even update it. It's just a running number. So they'll put cases 17 million. Like, bro, this nigga had a case in February. We're still talking about him.
Bruh, look, everybody know that. Okay, so now you want them to update the active cases.
Yes, why not?
Bruh, it just said total number of cases, confirmed cases. Why? I mean, if you look at the news that way,
that's why they leave it up there.
If you look at the news that way, I understand.
That number shocks people.
Look,
exactly.
J-Star, if that's the way y'all look at the news, I understand. I mean, I'm not telling you how to look at the news.
Okay, I'll flip it on you real quick.
Okay, but
Real quick.
one thing, Jane, before you do that, and you get right behind me, bruh. If that's how people look at the news, why the hell we got so many people that don't care? If y'all saying everybody looking at, oh Lord, the news, the numbers are 2 million, why people walking around with no mask on?
No, I don't think that's everybody, but I think you also have people that are freaking out. I know people that are freaking out. They like literally cave in their home. They're not going anywhere. They buy groceries from people going to get them. They freaking out. It's some people just like it. I know them.
No, I was just going to say, tokens like when the Iraq war was in its heaviest. If you turn on CNN at the bottom right hand corner, they show how many soldiers had died. That was a cumulative number. So what you're trying to say is you only want to see active number of deaths today.
That day.
No. That's not what I said.
Because
that's not what I said.
Active number of cases.
That's not what I said.
People got killed through the whole war. You just want to know how much this today.
No. Do they have a count of the amount of people that was shot?
What's that?
Do they have a count? Did they have a count of the amount of people?
They actually do. It's called wounded.
No, I'm talking about on the screen.
Yeah, they did, like you just said. They had,
on the screen, they kept a running count of the people that were shot.
Oh, I don't know.
Wounded. Yes, wounded.
They kept a running number of the amount of people that were shot or wounded in all of the war.
I don't know.
No way.
Did they keep a number on the screen?
And that's the exact same thing.
Yeah, they did. They did. For the first like 2 years, especially during that whole surge in between 2008 and 2010, you gotta think I was over there, so I know it. During that whole period of time, if you turn on CNN or even Fox News, they would have it down there. Total number of deaths of U.S. service members.
And you're probably supporting my case even more. That's just to drive ratings.
Because again, you're trying to say
that's to drive ratings. They want people watching.
Bro, that's what TV is for.
What I'm trying to say is
that's what TV is for. So now you're gonna tell me it's better to watch.
Why do you want to diminish or say that because I want to just know what's going on? It's a scare tactic by saying
right.
The whole number of people who died through the whole war. Because if I'm sitting here looking at it and I'm like, well, damn, 4,000 people done died for this whole war, like maybe we shouldn't be over there.
Man, maybe we should shut this whole down.
People died today or this month. They're like, well, you know, the war ain't that bad.
We're not just talking about deaths, though. We're talking about cases.
We shouldn't be
wounded. To go back to your point, they show how many people were wounded.
But man, we shouldn't be in none of them though. But Vito, I tell you, I need to answer your question. Why people are still out there? I'll tell you why. All you gotta do is just go into a blog or a Facebook or something. Some people feel like if you're taking their
call them out
privilege away,
call them out
by telling them they have to wear something on their face that they should not have to wear, and you're making a decision for them. How dare the government tell me that I have to wear a mask?
You're talking about the people that showed up with the rifles at the state building.
So when you ask why are people doing it, I tell you why they're doing it. They're doing it because they don't want you telling them that they can.
Well,
how would you know about the person that's just trapped in their home? You probably wouldn't know about that person that's freaking out just at their home, not going anywhere.
I'm sure it is some people out there, and I can't say that they're wrong for being scared, because the fact of the matter is somebody got to be. Somebody, not necessarily scared, but somebody has to be cautious. Somebody has to respect what's going on.
There's a difference between cautious and I'm cautious.
Yeah, well, I'm not saying I want anybody scared. But Price, you keep talking about you keep talking about ratings, like we talking about watching Toonami is better than watching CNN. Who cares about ratings? That doesn't matter. Like everybody on TV for ratings, we know that. Or else you wouldn't even have a channel. They may be on that to inform.
How do you drive ratings? That's how they drive ratings. Scare tactics.
I mean, I smell you. That's another show.
I agree with that, bro. I ain't gonna lie.
That's another show.
They trying to get people to watch, man. It makes sense. They trying to get people to watch.
People weird if they don't watch TV to be scared. I'm straight on that. I watch scary movies to be scared.
No, it's not about just being scared. The people are watching because they feel like they're being informed when they watch the news. But the problem that I have with it is they're not being informed. They're being scared. Fear is being placed into those people, and I don't think it's right.
I feel you. I mean, that's an opinion.
Right. That's right. If you don't believe that they drive ratings for money, then
who cares about that though? Everybody does that. That's my point. I don't care that they drive ratings for money. I mean to sit here and say that to sit here, I don't understand why I should, because the fact of the matter is, even if you disagree with them displaying the number of cases, it's still the number of cases. It doesn't matter. Either
Actually,
they're lying or they not.
It's actually not.
Well, either so basically you saying all news outlets lie unless you read them on a piece of paper.
No,
But
that's
anyway,
not what I'm saying. That is not what I'm saying.
let's leave that alone, because that's opinion.
That at all.
That's opinion based. It's all still opinion based. That's everybody's opinion, like driving ratings and all that. That's opinion, man.
It's not an opinion. It's not an opinion to have cases, as I mentioned, a case from February is still on the screen when it no longer matters. The nigga either dead or.
Bro, how you gonna tell people that it no longer matters, and there's people out there got family members dead, and you got people out there with lower lung capacity?
There have been
The people that had them.
It doesn't matter.
The people that had those cases.
How does that knowing that factor every single day with that number driving up?
Well,
how does that change anything?
As a person that looked at a lot of statistics, it changes a lot. It helps people understand that people that watch TV and don't get scared, they get to see how much is going on. Just like James said, why would you take down a number of deaths that happened in the war? Why would you do that? You want them to see that.
Deaths. We're not talking about deaths. You can have deaths up there.
Cases, or whatever it may be. It doesn't matter. But anyway,
you don't recover from death.
You want to know what percentage of the population, that may be a number that you want to see. But that, like I said, that's a matter of opinion. But you know, we've been along for this for a while. But
good debate, healthy debate.
Oh yeah, definitely. Ultimately,
entertaining too.
Right. Regardless of all that stuff, man, you know, I'm rooting for safety out here. Like one thing I wanted to say earlier, like to what Diesel was saying about Scout not going back and stuff like that. This is the time to me that we need to take advantage of this opportunity to make better. First of all, I'm looking at guys that got 9 to 5s. You know what I'm saying? We working, and we had to sit at a place for 8 hours a day. There is absolutely nothing that a single person can do for 8 hours a day and be productive. Get out of here. That type of stuff don't need to exist no more. And school, for instance, you up there at all that time. Okay, give parents time to sit at a job for 8 hours a day. Sure, that's all it is a means of daycare, because they're not learning that entire time. We know that. So let's do virtual learning. Let's, while we can, and say, hey, let's improve this. Let's make this better. Let's take this time and say, how can we improve on these dumbass systems that we got today that sit there and kills people creativity, et cetera, et cetera. All these nurses.
What are you trying to improve?
You want to work at a job for 8 hours a day?
No, I'm saying as far as the schools. So I
learning. Let's okay. Let's be clear, because you look at the news right now. You look at TV right now. They talk about how important it is for kids to be in the classroom. I'm not saying it's not important for kids to have interaction to be in the classroom. I'll be a fool to say that. But let's not act like we don't got a bunch of dummies running around here and we got low test scores all over the place because these teachers ain't teaching nothing. When it's not a mystery when you got homeschool kids that's running laps around these kids that attend these public schools every day. So virtual learning can improve that, because you have a parent there that actually cares about that kid. Not saying they aren't good teachers, there are great teachers out there. But we already know going through school, it might be 1 out of 10. It might be 2 out of 10. But you spend that time to improve on all these whack-ass systems that's out here. I don't want to talk about America like it's great, because it ain't in so many different ways. Especially
I think that's a tough debate, though, because I mean, there are a lot of kids that don't, parents aren't there. They
definitely.
So they can't do the virtual learning.
That's a different animal. I get that.
And then you got parents like
we have the opportunity to improve those systems is what I'm saying, because you do got areas that people need those places to go to school just because their parent isn't there. I definitely understand that. That's a Black community thing, and I understand that wholeheartedly. But I feel like at this time we have an opportunity to improve on a bunch of systems. People are able to work from home. But whereas we used to go in for 8 hours and sit there and do absolutely nothing, but you mean to tell me, I'm able to get my job done from home? Wow, amazing. I never would have thought that. Yeah, right. You know, but that's another story. The one number that come out of work from home is people work more when they're actually at home. More and more efficient, probably.
More efficient.
Yeah, my company actually did a study, and we've been more efficient while at home during this time.
Yeah, I wonder why.
They gave us a raise because we were doing so good. last
Yeah.
week. So,
They actually gave us a early release on Friday because the efficiency was so much higher.
But
I gotta
as
go
far
in
as
I gotta
as
go
far
in
as-
every day, so I wouldn't know.
That's so filthy, man.
as far as homeschool is concerned, that is subjective, and that's
J-Star, look, we ain't
How is
talking
that
about you, bro.
subjective?
We ain't talking about you, man.
Just
Just because you don't want to deal with your baby don't
No,
mean
no, no,
everybody
no.
else don't want
That's
to deal with
not a
their baby,
subjective
man.
No,
number,
no.
though.
I didn't say I didn't want to deal with it. I
You
said I'm
did
a
say that
terrible.
earlier.
I said no. That's not what I'm saying here. What I'm saying here is I'm a terrible teacher.
No, you don't know that, man. You don't know that.
Oh yes, I am, bro. I have no patience. Man.
Patience is the problem.
I
That don't
have
mean
no-
you're a bad teacher.
That makes a great teacher, bro. That's
Well,
one
yeah,
of the,
it does.
you
It
find
does,
your way.
but it's your child. bro.
But I
That
promise.
first march,
If you had
was,
to.
that march was kind of touch and go there, especially around math time. But you catch your own by April time. We had a whole.
But I guarantee
academy
Bailey is 10
Before we
times more
close.
productive with you than she is in a classroom with 32 other kids. I guarantee that.
in 32,
Right.
but
J-Rock. J-Rock
Oh.
been quiet. J-Rock been quiet. He be thinking he be getting out the hook. He be back enjoying the show. Before we close, because we can talk about COVID all day, but I want, like, give me I don't know, 3 sentences, bruh, about this Kanye for president. That's 3 sentences or 2. You know, you got to be long. Just give me something real quick before we get
All
out of
that
here.
is a tactic to divide the black vote. If he run, it's gonna be some black people that go out there and vote for him, which is gonna split them vote, and the Republican gonna win.
Don't forget about the young white ones too.
Yeah, period.
These are what
That's
you
all
say.
that is.
He said what I was gonna say because that's Kanye's listen.
This the same guy that was
Oh,
He took his
yeah,
glasses
damn
off.
want to run
He
against
took the
him.
glasses off.
Get out of here.
Kanye a fool.
J-Star, what's up?
For one, I don't even think that John real because
It's
ain't it
real.
too late? Ain't it too late
Nah, it ain't too
to
late.
get on the
It's not
ticket?
too late.
It's
it's
not
not.
too late.
I think it's
That
It's
John,
gonna be
that John
difficult.
can't be real.
It will be difficult for him to get on the ballot this
Yeah.
late.
That's what I'm saying. Getting on the ballot.
But it ain't too late though. It's not too
Not
late.
too late. No, it's
It'll
not
be
too
the
late.
first
It's
time
just
America elected a celebrity.
Probably what you got, dog.
I don't know. I have no comment.
I don't even want to say nothing. What you got, James, bro?
Man, I agree with all of them except Price, I guess. 'Cause,
He had no comment.
but no, like, yeah, I mean, I feel the same. Like, like you said, he gonna divide this and that. I'm still waiting. I mean, I can't say that I'm just not gonna not think that it's not real, but I was reading that he hadn't even filed all the right paperwork.
Nah, he hadn't done all that yet.
Get that. So when that happens, we'll come and see.
So
I do think it's gonna be a dividing the vote tactic that
Yeah.
him and Trump done teamed up together.
are black people actually still following Kanye?
Well,
Like
that's why I told Jared don't forget about the young white people. But yeah, it's a bunch of black
mean-
people still like.
I mean, because I don't really listen to Kanye like that. Like
Bruh.
he
you 30 something.
like
You don't-
dude. I mean, but he's my
but-
age range. He's my age range, bro.
Well, J Star.
Young people ain't checking for Kanye. And
That's
if you
some
say
black people go vote for that man just to be doing something.
Bro, are you crazy?
young people,
Yes, bro.
Yeah.
Bro, they are going crazy over that dude, bro. Like people
over the
go
last album,
not just
Not
him as
music.
a person.
Yeah, not just
as a
music.
person. Oh,
Period.
okay.
Like people are worship that dude, just like they, Travis Scott might be a little bit bigger now, but Ye still up there.
Oh yeah.
I mean,
Minus
I'm thinking NBA YoungBoy and all them dudes.
Nah. They got fans, but they got pockets.
Yeah, that's
Uh,
a different thing.
Yeah. So I mean, I ain't got a lot to say about it either, but I will say this about Kanye, bro. Beside him being crazy, one of the things, and we had to talk about this another day, but one thing that tripped me out about this dude, I think he a narcissist just like Trump. And another thing that tripped me out about it, he went to this gospel thing, and I really think that that's a whole power move type situation because everybody know how popular God is in general. I don't know if y'all remember the Book of Eli and what that movie was about the dude trying to get the Bible so he'd gain control. I honestly think Kanye is a narcissist to the point that he is trying to use church and gospel and things like that as a means of control. I ain't want to question the man's faith. That's just my thinking because the dude is a straight up narcissist, bro. Like he is an extraordinarily odd guy.
Bro, I gotta say this. The people who are Kanye would supposedly take their vote, are they voting?
Everybody,
would they have been voting for Biden?
Well, voting,
You know?
voting is a trend now. You know, it's a hot topic. It's probably a hashtag by now. So a lot of people that wasn't gonna vote are gonna be voting, and it is some dumb people out there that would go.
A lot more that would vote if Kanye was on the ballot.
Yeah. So again,
Wait, say that again.
There are a lot more that probably would vote. Now they may not be messing up Biden or Trump's vote.
Yeah.
There's a lot more that would probably go
So
out.
yeah, if they would vote, but they were not going to vote before,
it's a chance that I wouldn't want to take. I would hope that he was.
But it just don't make sense to me. Like the people, okay, now the people that would vote, they're gonna go out there and vote for Kanye. But if he didn't run, they weren't gonna vote at all. So.
But Jason, the reason why I said voting now is like a thing. It's like a hashtag now.
I get that.
You got a following, right? You got people. So if Kanye was to run where J-Rock and O and stuff was coming from by him splitting the vote, it's still a possibility for these mindless people to go out there and be like, well, hell, I don't really, they might not even understand how voting works. They might not understand that voting for him might hurt Biden's chances. So that whereas they wouldn't gonna vote for Trump because everybody hates Trump, because guess what? Trump is a racist. What do all young kids hate right now? White kids hate. They hate racists. They hate racism. It's a fad. It's a trend. So it's a possibility. Like Price said, it may or may not, but it's a possibility. One that I wouldn't be willing to take. So I hope that he wouldn't do nothing like that. Do nothing crazy.
You also got to think about all these
running as a Democrat
who are just Kardashian lovers.
Independent. Okay. Say that again.
He probably would have to run independent because he wouldn't make the ballot under.
That's true. Say it again. Oh,
we're gonna close.
I said you also got to think about the people who are just Kardashian lovers.
Yeah,
there's a whole group of people.
It's a whole
literally like a whole
HBCU
section of people in the world.
Slab out.